Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with another silly car build. My vehicle today, it is the Alfa Romeo 155, and I'm using this car for two very, very good reasons. The first being, I really do like the Alfa 155, and we can get the DTM body kit, which is always good. You can turn it into the proper DTM car. The second reason, though, is the engine, or a specific engine that we can put in the car. I mean, the standard engine is all very well and good, but we do have some interesting options. We have a 3.2 litre inline six, a pretty decent engine, perhaps not a surprising thing to see, be able to go into the Alfa Romeo. 3 litre V8 racing, I believe this is the Ariel Atom engine, which I didn't expect to see this one end up in the Alfa, I will be honest. Again, pretty decent engine though. This thing, not the most powerful, not the torquiest, but still not a bad engine. But the one that I was really surprised to see is the quad rotor racing engine. This, I believe, is the Mazda 787B's engine. Now, rotaries are certainly, I've seen various different cars are now, you can now put rotary engines in a lot more, and you can also, the RX-7 engine, the 1.3, you can put that in quite a few cars as well. So rotaries are now accessible to a lot more vehicles, and we can put a quad rotor engine into the Alfa, which has got to be done. It absolutely has got to be done. So we're going to have a quad-rotored Alfa 155. Now the Alfa does start off at 4-wheel drive. I'm not going to be keeping it 4-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive is a little safe, a tad boring almost for the city car builds. So I got to convert it into a rear-wheel drive. We'll make it a hell of a lot lighter. Of course, drops the PI massively because we lose quite a lot of grip. Body kits, yes, we can have the full DTM kit. The front bumper for the DTM car is always, it's a peculiar front bumper. In fact, I quite like that front bumper, actually. I'm not sure what bumper that's from. It could be another touring car one. I do quite like that one, but that's the proper DTM one. Is a weird kit, the DTM one, but it's cool. I do like it. Again, we have, I'm assuming this is another possibly another sort of touring car. I know the Alfa 155 was using a lot of different things, and I'm not actually sure which one was the DTM wing. I think it was this one, but yeah, not entirely sure. We're going for the big diffuser, of course, at the back, because, you know, why not? I mean, that is an impressive diffuser. Look at that. It's a really impressive diffuser on the back of this car, and we can get some side skirts to try and kind of match it all up. It's a little bit mismatched on the car, certainly before we stick some race suspension on and lower everything. Tyres, of course, we are going to be wanting these if we are going to stand a hope in hell of keeping the car under control. I'll be trying my best. What have we got tyre-wise? Front tyres, 255s on the front. Of course, the car being naturally 4-wheel drive means we'll have some half-decent tyres on the front. 255s are not bad, but we're probably going to get 255s on the rear, which indeed we do. So quite a lot of power going through the rear wheels, not the greatest of tyres. Admittedly, the quad rotor, when the restrictors are taken off, it isn't the most powerful of engines, unless things have changed since last game. I haven't seen what it'll get when we take the restrictors off. Of course, we will go through here with putting on all of the race parts that we can, just trying to give me a chance of controlling the car. Actually, it's got pretty light, this Alfa, and we haven't even got to weight reduction yet. So it's 2,700 pounds and we haven't touched weight reduction. This is going to be a really light car. I didn't even think about that particularly for this vehicle. It's going to be really light. Other things you will notice, things like suspension. These up the PI a lot more. Normally suspension was like 1 PI per thing at best, upping it. Like the brakes as well. Okay, the brakes on this isn't massive. I have seen it do a lot more PI increase. That is one thing I have been seeing with the cars. The PI system is slightly different, and handling parts can jump the PI up quite quickly. Of course, anti-roll bars, race anti-roll bars, a race roll cage, stiffen up the chassis, even if we do add a little bit of weight. So it's up to 2,800 and a bit. We shall now drop it all the way down, 2,300 pounds. It is very, very light. I'm really amazed just how light that Alfa Romeo is. Yeah, taking off the 4-wheel drive system and getting that weight reduction on it is mighty impressive. And finally, how much power are we going to get? 794 horsepower. So near enough 800 horsepower. 500 torque in a rear-wheel drive Alfa that weighs 2,300 pounds. That is a massive, massive power-to-weight ratio in this in this car. It's impressive. It is very, very impressive, this Alfa Romeo. Quite ludicrous. However, should be pretty damn fast. Now, before we get behind the wheel of the Alfa Romeo, we've got to give it a target time to try and beat in the vehicle that I'm going to be using today, a Ferrari 458 race car. Comes out at a very similar PI to the Alfa Romeo, the Ferrari, less powerful. I think it's actually slightly heavier as well than the Alfa. However, this is a proper race car, which means it should handle a lot better than the Alfa Romeo in theory. Now, for the track selection, I'm going to be going to the Hockenheim short circuit today, a track that I am so glad to see this track back in Forza. This was pretty much my go-to track for versus the community and for just general racing. When it came to Forza 4, because it produced some of the best events that we ever had. Because close racing is so easy around here. There are so many good spots on this track to get an overtake. I think we will go for... Shall we go for 5 laps? We will go for 5 laps with the Ferrari, see what lap times I can get out of this car, and then we will stick the Alfa around, see if it can go quicker. Oh, okay, I can't quite carry that speed through turn 1. Turn 1 is an awkward corner to get right here. Also, the curbs. The curbs are vicious around around this track, as you would perhaps expect. We have got some straights to test the cars, sort of all the way down here. It's 130 miles an hour. It's a tight track. It's a short track. The odd straights for cars are mostly a handling circuit for this one. This is another. We're gonna lose the back end of the Ferrari. Okay, maybe we should warm the tyres up a little bit more before going for it quite in that manner. There is another. Okay, no, we got a really slidey Ferrari. Okay, car. If we could not be doing any of that sort of shenanigans, I would very much appreciate it, Ferrari. If we could get the back end just sort of planted on the road. I've been seeing this with a couple of the race cars. I did a live stream yesterday where I was driving some random vehicles, and I was quite a few cars. I was having problems with the back ends just being too lively for my liking. Right, turn 1. I'd say that's pretty good through the first corner. Yeah, the curb on the inside there is a big one that will throw the car up on 2 wheels and throw it out wide. The curb on the outside is also horrible. You really do not want to run across the curb. Like, if you're running wide at turn 1, you are better here to just completely go out wide. Don't try and hold it with 2 wheels on the curb, because it will just upset the car more. Right, bring it down through here. This is always a nasty section to try and get the cars slowed down for and sorted out for. We're going to have a fast, sweeping turn through there. Yeah, we've got a bit more grip now. Got some heat in the tyres. Car is a little bit happier with me. Through there. The amount of times you will see cars, especially in online racing, you push it a little too hard, you get a wheel on the sand, and that's it, you're done for out there. This is my favourite overtaking spot. That's got the second to last corner here. Up the inside, if you're close enough to a car, people don't really think about it as an overtaking spot, often don't defend that area of the track. You can really just chuck the car up the inside. I've done many an overtake on Forza 4 at that particular spot. Alright, first flying lap of 1 minute. 1 minute 5. There you go. See what I was talking about? The first corner there. If you hit that inside, I was slowed down enough. I think I could have made the turn, but the curb launches it up onto its side. I'm going to be honest. I'm not enjoying the Ferrari as much as I thought I would. I was expecting this to be a little bit more planted. You see? Well, okay, we can go through there. I did have to have a little lift on the brake. The back end is really wanting to come around. Now, I'm going to hazard a guess that the back end in the Alfa is probably going to want to play around a lot more than this, which is scaring me slightly. If I'm struggling with this for just wanting to slide, I fear that the Alfa might be a handful. Oh, you see it again through there. It's at the moment it's just the story of me trying to fight the oversteer in the cars. Okay, we're doing a bit better around there. I'm not sure we'll go. We missed the first turn completely, so I don't think we're going to be going a huge amount faster. Okay, but we went pretty decent, but this is still early laps for the car. Right, I've done it again. I really want to take that liner, just getting it slightly wrong. You can hit the curb, but you can't hit the big sort of orange sausage curb behind that. And then we're trying to get the power down out of turn 2. We're sliding the car. What do we reckon the speed was? About 130 down this back straight. 130 as we turn in through here. Yeah, it's flat out through there, which the car can deal with, and then kind of jump on the brakes and get it sorted, get it neat. Don't run out towards the wall. Understeery cars often find that wall on the outside. I can't quite be brave enough. I think it might be able to go flat out through there, you know. I'm getting braver as the laps progress through here, and then around the hairpin. Yeah, we're much better now. We've got some warmer tyres. The car is much happier around here. Careful of the curbs though, up towards the second to last corner. Now we've pushed it a little too hard on the way in. Yeah, it's better, but I can still get it sliding, especially if you run the curb. Curbs are really nasty here. Can't decide if here or Lime Rock have the nastiest curb. Lime Rock has some really nasty buggers around there. Right, so let's try and position it better. Okay, you see, that's where I got the wheel on the back wheel on the outside curb there, and you see how much it wants to throw the car around. It's really not particularly pleasant. And to try to now stop getting the car from going sideways out of these turns, trying to be neat, maybe a little cautious under braking there into that turn 2. We are going quicker. Right, be brave up here. Oh, I turned it a fraction too late. Had to have a lift, otherwise we were going off and playing in the grass, which is not at all what you want to be doing. I think even it in thirds, kind of working through there. Again, not quite flat out, I don't think. Had to have a tiny lift on the way in, but got it sorted out. Make sure we get it slowed down for this hairpin. The hairpin feels like it takes forever to get around. You want to jump on the power as soon as possible, but you don't want to get that understeer and go off and play in the gravel. Now, make sure we don't get big oversteer this time around. It was better through there, even with a slight brush on the curb. But be really careful of these curbs. No! Piss. We got the Ferrari sliding, trying to get on the power a little too soon. I think it's going to be a quicker lap, though. It is not quite. It is a 1:4.615 is the target time for the Alfa Romeo to try and beat. Right, the Ferrari has laid down the gauntlet. Surprisingly oversteer. We were going fractionally quicker until I got a big slide out of that last corner. Yeah, Ferrari surprisingly oversteering. Also, just noticed it's got a really peculiar splitter at the front. I don't think I've taken a chunk out of it. That's a really odd splitter. It stops in the middle. Yeah, we've got the target time now for the Alfa Romeo to go and try and beat. Okay, the turn of the Alfa Romeo. It is going to make a glorious noise, I can guarantee you that much. I love the quad rotor engine. It's going to spit a lot of fire as well. Okay, Alfa, let's see what you have got. 1:4 is the time to beat. Well, we're not quite as controlled off the line, and okay, we don't turn. We have a mile of understeer on the way to turn 1. Right, let's really back that down. Okay, it does not turn at all. The Alfa, there is no steering in this car. It's ludicrously fast. The Ferrari was 130 down here. The Alfa hit 140 before we even got to the corner. There's not a hope. It just doesn't steer. Alfa, are we going to be ever so kind and maybe make a turn? Look at that. That's incredible. I thought we were going to have oversteer problems. Nope. We can't go fast enough through the corner to have oversteer problems. Oh, get round. Now we have oversteer problems. Now we have real oversteer problems. I'm in the grass. I was expecting to be in the grass pointing backwards because of far too much power. I wasn't expecting to just simply understeer off the course. So it is going to be crawl around the turns at 60 miles an hour. And again, final turn, crawl around here. And fire up the noise. Yeah, it's really very, very fast in a straight line. That's 160 before turn 1, but then we've really got to slow it down. Oh, I hate that curve. The curve is so nasty there. Oh no, I got all the power too soon. Really didn't like that at all, did we, Alfa? Right, it is going to be crawl around the corners and then boot it on these two straights. And hopefully, well, we will try and make up time on these straights. I'm not sure we're going to be able to make up enough time. While I didn't particularly like the Ferrari, the back end was too lively on that. At least it actually got turned into the corner. I mean, this is, sure, it's got a lot of power going to the rear wheels. So, it's, yeah, you can make it lively. The bigger issue is I just cannot get it turned into these corners. We just have to slow to an absolute crawl around here. Damn it, I was thinking the Ferrari's going to be a good rival for this. They curb again, spat me out the other side. I did not foresee these particular... Oh, for God's sake, car. Turn! Please! Please make a corner! There we go. We are quite a lot down on the Ferrari's time at the moment. Right, come on, Alfa Romeo. We can do this. We're 6 seconds off. Got to find 6 seconds. I mean, if I don't make any mistakes, no, we're not going to do that at all. Hey, we're up on 2 wheels across that. Bloody thing. Yeah, if you're going wide, that is better to do that option. Get sort of fully across the curb rather than try and fight along it. Because you saw me trying to go across it, got it up on 2 wheels. If I fight along it, it's going to upset the car an awful lot more. We've found 2 out of the 6 seconds that we need. Oh, no, maybe not if we keep driving like that. Okay, no, we're better. Maybe third gear is a good idea, actually. This is what I was doing with the Ferrari a little bit, was just keeping it a slightly higher gear. Try and get those rear wheels under control. I think that might work, you know. Maybe we'll try it through... Oh, no, we've outbraked myself a lot into the hairpin, and then we're not turning whatsoever. Come on, Alfa. No. Oh, we're going to lose it. No. Save it. Save it. There we go. I fought it. I brought it back. What went on there with the car, I do not know. I don't even think I hit a curb on that one to suddenly upset it massively. Right, speed! All of the speed down towards turn 1. It's pretty good on the brakes as well. I'm not having to brake ridiculously early to get it slowed down for the corners. It gets stopped very well, as you would perhaps imagine from such a light car on race tyres and so on. It really slows down nicely. And then we go to turn in and it's all ruined. It's just all terrible. Can we be quick down here? I was trying to be flat out around that first part. We're definitely not going flat out through here. There's not a hope in hell. If the Ferrari was on the limit going flat out, you know, this is going to be... it's not gonna make it. Again, wait for power. Feed in the power a little bit, and then just sort of tidy throttle movements through here, and then I want to jump on it as soon as we can, but then you've got to be careful. It's kind of easy to get lulled into thinking that this car isn't as quick as it is, because you have to be so slow through here. Once you've finally got out of the corner, it's, oh, excitement, I can use the throttle, and then of course there's 800 horsepower of noisy quad-rotor power. It wants to deploy immediately, and you have all of the oversteer issues. We've got one more lap after this. This is a better lap. It's not going to beat the 458, but it is a good lap. A 1.6. Got to within 2 seconds of the Ferrari, which is not bad at all. I'm getting the first turn okay. I've got the hang of it now. And then on the brakes again, down here. Yeah, it's a funny one to drive, actually. I'm finding new issues with silly car builds that I wasn't quite expecting. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, I mean, the oversteer can be crazy on here, but I wasn't expecting to just not get it turned through the corners, and because of this understeer, it kind of makes the car a little easier to drive. You can't approach the corners with such ludicrous speed as you might if it turned in better as you might want to, because you know you're not going to ever make the turn, which doesn't steer. We've got a really big slide on though through that quick corner, which is not good. Yeah, curious one indeed, driving the Alfa 155 around here. I'm not sure if we're going any quicker. I think that big slide will have ruined it if we were. It was looking for a very similar kind of lap time. We've run wide out of the final turn as well. Across another big nasty curb, and fire the car out to the finish line. Oh, on Alfa, we're not going quicker. We're not going to be going quicker whatsoever. The Alfa does a 1 minute 6.3. It is just under 2 seconds a lap slower than the Ferrari. That's pretty respectable, though, considering the understeer, the massive understeer that we were getting with this car. 1 minute 6 is fairly respectable, I have to say. And to finish this up, of course, we are going to take the Alfa Romeo for a speed run. So we have come here to Le Mans. First thing we must do, though, is give the car a quick tune, sort out the gear ratios to give it the best possible chance, and get rid of the downforce bits. So we will take the aero off here. We should now get some. It's already reckoned it could do 230 miles an hour. 234.9. If we extend the gear ratios ever so slightly, can we get a bit more speed out of it? 240 would be nice. Hazarding a guess, we're probably not going to get it, because these are just doing little adjustments. 236 anymore? 236.2. That's going to be about it, I think. Okay, 236.2 is, I'm guessing, I will just quick check. I'm kind of expecting that to now make it, yeah, it's, no, don't apply that. Yeah, that was looking about sort of the limit of what we can get. So we're going to run out of steam at about 236. Hopefully we can get it that fast before we reach the corner. I don't know what the corner is, but at the end of the long straight, the track kind of kinks round. Now, good and nice handling cars, they will do that flat out. This, with its mile of understeer, is not going to do that flat out, so we will have to have reached our top speed before we hit that corner. Because if we haven't, and we try and take it flat out, we will hit the corner, quite literally, and have a very, very big accident. So, fingers crossed we can get the... No, Alfa. Behave yourself, please. Thank you, car. Hopefully we can have got the speed required before then. I mean, it does seem pretty damn fast accelerating. Getting 150, 160 at Hockenheim short. Pretty good on the speed fronts, let's be honest. Right, try and make it around these turns with a mile of... Oh no, I forgot about that bump. Okay, that's still there. There is a horrible, horrible bump that I completely forgot about when you come around here. You can barely see it. As you try and get the power down, though, coming out of that corner, you hit the bump, and on lesser controlled cars, they will just start sliding. So often silly build cars, they will just start sliding and it will throw the car out the wall. Really nasty section of track. Okay, I am remembering things about this, about these tracks and so on. Anyway, onto the straight with the Alfa we go. Past the 200 mile an hour mark already. 210 miles an hour, we'll change up into sick. Can we crack 230? It was 236 we are aiming for. We're up to 220 at the moment. Of course, once we get past the 200 mile an hour mark, it's now really quite hard to keep... Come on, car. Keep going. Keep giving me numbers. 231 miles an hour in a quad-roted Alfa 155. We're coming up to the corner. Come on. I need a bit more speed out of you. I do need some more speed. 234. Come on. Two more miles an hour. We're going to try the corner. Uh-oh. Whoa. That's not good. Okay, it actually saved us ever so slightly. We're not going to do it now because we lost a lot of speed having to slow down. The bump saved us because the bump actually turned the car into the corner. I think we might... okay, and rest, Alfa. Rest. Here we go. The bump did save us. I think we actually might have made it flat out around there. Because the corner... I keep thinking the corner is tighter than it is. I think we might have had the steering. But yeah, the bump really... I thought it screwed us over massively, but it actually helped us because it turned us in. Alfa Romeo, 234 miles an hour we got out of it, down the Le Mans straight. Yeah, it's just so much understeer in this car. I'm sure if there wasn't understeer, I'd be saying about oversteer, power delivery, and so on. Because there is so much understeer, you barely notice that as a particular problem because you are so busy fighting the car trying to get it turned into corners. Yeah, not at all what I expected from this car. Really wasn't expecting that particular problem. But there we go. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.